regarding Matrix Games, when did that become a part of Slitherine, and why did you guys incorporate that as a company into Slitherine?
So that was, God, I'm trying to remember now. I think 2009 was when we acquired Matrix Games. So we'd been working with them for probably a couple of years up to that point, and this was after the retail market was dying, and it was becoming clear that digital distribution was a much more reliable and safer method to get to the customer. We didn't realize at that time that it would become so dominant, but we knew there was a definitely potential there, and so we wanted to get more involved. And Matrix's business was entirely digital distribution. They occasionally released a game or two at retail, but it was 99% probably digital, and it just felt like a very good fit for us. So we came to a deal with David Heath, and acquired the company off of him back in 2009, and our digital revenues then obviously grew massively, because at that point we were still primarily generating revenue from retail. We did have a digital distribution, but it was probably about 10 to 20%. And so over the next few years, working with the kind of the building blocks we had there, we grew to be um, pretty much entirely digital revenue now. We occasionally do something at retail, but it's the exception rather than the norm. And so it really transitioned us into the digital space nicely. And we took a lot of the systems and technology they developed and built on those. So it gave us a good kind of jumping off point to kick everything forwards.
So if I understood correctly, you wanted to move into your own area, so you left Eidos or Eidos, however you say it, and at that point you were this was when you were doing development work, right?
At Eidos, I was a producer for Eidos.
Uh-huh.
So that was before Slitherine really existed. So I left Eidos and founded Slitherine with the developer that was making the game that I was a producer for. But within a few weeks, that guy had had a nervous breakdown and disappeared to Australia. And so I was then left with a newly formed company with this guy who never actually signed the paperwork. So in the end, we didn't end up with, the idea was we were going to be 50-50 partners in this thing, but he never signed the paperwork and disappeared. And so it ended up that I still had all the shares. So I had 100% of shares of nothing. And so I thought I better do something with this. And so I then started looking around for some way to make a game. And I went back to some of the people I'd worked with before as part of Intelligent Games, people I'd worked on for the Dune series and things like that, and found a couple of people that were interested in coming aboard, and they joined, and we made those first couple of games.
And that would have been like early 2000s, right?
It was 2000, actually July 4th, 2000, that we formed Slitherine.
That's right, because we just celebrated the 20th anniversary, right? Or you guys celebrated the 20th anniversary.
Yes, that's right. And strangely enough, Matrix Games was incorporated within a month or so of that. It was almost the same date.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Huh. Yes. So they're both 20 years old.
Oh, okay. And so now the question I was actually leaning towards is,